being able to go into a state of flow is probably one of the most important skills for your happiness and for your productivity. So what is a flow state? There's this psychologist, Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, and he studies flow and overall positive psychology. So his definition of flow is the state in which people are involved in an activity that nothing else seems to matter. The experience itself is so enjoyable that the people will do it even at great cost. Now, it's likely that you have already experienced a state of flow in your own life. So my own experience with the state of flow is with gaming. Now, I don't game anymore right now, but I know that I used to go into a state of flow. Now, I was so focused and so present in the moment, like everything was just effortless. It was a little bit of a challenge, but it was effortless, and I was just flowing through the movement. I was getting kills here and there. And to be honest, that's a state where you want to be in for the rest of your life, because nothing else matters. There's no critical thought or anything in your life. Just everything goes according to plan or something. It's really weird, but if you've experienced it, you will know what I'm talking about. Now, going into a state of flow happens mostly when we're at work. So if you have a project for school or an exercise that you need to do for school, you are probably really focused, and sometimes you just are flowing. The sentences are popping into your thoughts and you're just writing them down. Everything goes perfectly. And sometimes you're distracted. You have distracting stuff around you and you cannot work. Now, according to science, there are some benefits. You will get a creativity boost. You feel more fulfillment and happiness throughout your life. Your emotional regulation will go up. Now, also, you'll experience a higher sense of intrinsic motivation. Now, intrinsic motivation is the motivation that you get purely from doing the activity, not because you get some reward or you'll do it for someone else. Alright, right now I'm going to give you action steps that will increase your chance of getting into a flow state. Alright, so the first and probably one of the most important steps is do something that you actually love doing. Now, this is of course difficult because we all have work, we all have obligations, and we all have school. So we cannot always do something that we love. So the next step is going to be that you're going to create a SMART goal. It's important that your goal should be just a little bit out of your comfort zone. It needs to be just a little bit challenging, because if it's too challenging, you will get just anxiety and stress and stuff, and we don't want that. And if it's just too easy, you'll get bored, and we also don't want that. You should be just in the middle, and that's where flow state happens. So a SMART goal for me should be finishing the recording of this video before 3 p.m. This is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Another thing that will help is choosing intrinsic goals. So you would want to work on those goals just for yourself, not for anyone else or just for any rewards. The next step is going to be that you should measure your progress. So if you are writing an essay, maybe you will just have a goal of 3,000 words, and the amount of words will be the track of your progress. Really that simple. For me, for example, would be I want to finish this video before 3 p.m. So yeah, my measure is how far am I with recording this video and how close am I to the deadline. So for step 4, and this is a really important step, if you do not do this step, your chances of getting into the flow state are probably around 0%. So what you're gonna do for this step is remove all of the distractions in your surroundings. Throw away your phone. You don't need that while you're working, because everyone is just like, oh, I can multitask and I can look at my stuff, but no, it's not gonna work. Just throw away your phone into a different room so you do not get distracted. Now, for your computer, which you're probably going to work on it, is delete all of the unnecessary tabs in Chrome or whatever browser you're using. They're just distractions. You'll basically see the tab of a YouTube video and you'll probably click on it, and then you are again in just a procrastination loop, and we don't want that. So clear all of the unnecessary tabs, have a clean desk, so don't have any distracting books or papers or whatever. I have a couple of things on my desk right now, but it's mostly clean. Also, another one is you don't need email. Like, just throw it away. I understand you're probably at work right now and you expect maybe some email from your colleague, or you expect some email from your teachers. like, it doesn't matter right now. You want to get into flow state, right? You want to get shit done. So throw away that tab and just focus and focus and focus. All right, for step 5 is you can put on some good music. Personally, I like jazz or classical music, which get me a little bit into the zone. If I feel a little bit more motivated, I'll put on some techno or D&B, whatever. Just find out something that works for you. I suggest something that has no vocals, or it should be, yeah, if it has vocals, it should be really, really familiar so that you don't like get distracted and you already know what the person is going to say. I'll link some playlists into the description so you can check them out, the ones that I use. You can also just search on YouTube, like you have binaural beats or you have just lo-fi focus, whatever. You can always find something you vibe with, get focused with, and it's just a little bit of a try and error progress, basically. So step 6, you're gonna create a ritual. This can be very, very easy. This can either be when you're going to start your deep work or just your intentional flow session. You're gonna say to yourself, I'm going to flow, or I'm going to focus and flow, or maybe your word will be giraffe or anything. Just a cue for your brain that you are going into a flow state, or that you want to go into a flow state. If you think that saying things in your head is a bit of a cringy thing to do, you can always like just put on your lamp when you're going to work. So when that specific lamp is turned on, then you will focus. Another thing could be that you put a playlist on. So the same playlist is always used for focus. Now, this will teach your brain to connect the two things. So if you have done all of the previous step, then the final and last step is focus. Just start. Your desk should be clean, your phone should be thrown away, you should have made a ritual, you have picked a playlist for yourself to focus on. You are ready. Now, a thing to keep in mind is that it usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes to get into a flow state. Just work, just push through that initial barrier, and you'll probably get into a flow state if you practice long enough. Now, this is a very important thing, because if you do not get distracted and if you've managed to completely isolate yourself and you manage to get into a flow state, that's awesome. Congratulations. You probably feel the fucking best. But if you're not distracted, this can last for 90 minutes to about 2 hours.
Hey, that's pretty good.
And this just takes practice. You'll get the hang of it probably. Don't be like disappointed that it won't work immediately, because yeah, you know, it's a skill to learn. If you cannot manage to focus, I suggest you do some meditation, or you're gonna practice mindfulness. I have some videos on my channel which you can check out. I'll link them in the description, so you can have a sort of a guide or just a framework how you can meditate very easily. This is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you flow everywhere in life, and I'll check you guys later. Ciao, ciao.